Greetings everybody and welcome back to Building with the Threat. This is episode number 12 in the series. Hopefully you are having a good day. I am doing okay myself here. And we got some big projects today. Today's episode is going to be very bridge themed. And I'm excited to share with you. That's a lot of pigs. I'm excited to share with you some progress I've been making around the world here, and to build some bridges today, and possibly some other things. We'll see what time we get. So, firstly, I wanted to kind of show you what I've been working on by myself. This is not finished, but it's in progress. This is the start of a new river here. I mentioned in the other episode that I was going to start working on these really big terraforming projects by myself, and I've started to do that here. This river is going to run all the way through the mountains there and connect out to the ocean, which is that way, as well as connect up to the mining settlement river that we made a few episodes back over in that direction as well. And this is what we've got so far. I haven't dug out the floor of it yet, the riverbed. And there is still, obviously, a lot more to go this way as well. But this is primarily what I've been spending time on since the end of last episode. I've also spent a lot of time thinking about and designing some new builds and things for us to add into the world. This is all of the stuff I've gotten from this. Lots of dirt. I actually cooked all of this in our new furnace room. That was very helpful, the smooth stone there. And the first thing I want to build today, I want to get right into it, is building a bridge directly across from this side to this side, because we're going to start thinking about running paths over that way eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and get some materials together, and we will start and put this together, and I'll share with you my thought process a little bit and how I made that bridge. Okay, so I've gone ahead and got my materials together now for building this particular bridge. And I did not use a reference or anything for this, so this is just me working by myself, coming up with an idea and seeing where it took me. This is a stone bridge, which is something we have not built before. And what I tried to do with this particular bridge is I wanted to get lots of interesting and kind of unique shapes involved. That was my goal with this. It is a diagonal bridge, and as we build this, I'll be able to show you how I did the diagonal here. So what I'm going to be able to do now is, actually I'm going to do something like this to start with. And we can put something like that underneath. And we're going to go in too with this cobble here. Just like that. So yeah, we're going to climb up here. That is kind of unfortunate. What we can do though is we can set up a block behind this so it looks like that. And that's kind of the basic shape for this level. So I think the key with building a good bridge is getting a really good shape that you're happy with to start off. If you can do that, it makes building the rest of the bridge a lot easier. So I spent a lot of time designing this, just changing parts about it, adjusting things, making things a little bit different. I knew kind of what I wanted. I wanted to build a diagonal bridge because I think that looks a little bit more interesting. Generally, diagonal builds in general look a lot more interesting because they're a little bit more unusual. And that, I think, is always a fun thing to have. Oops. Not quite what I wanted to do here. I also wanted it to be a fairly large bridge. The only other bridge we built in the world was a very small one in the forestry settlement, so having a larger one here gives me slightly more space to do detail with. So I think that's a good choice as well. So I'm going to do something like this, 2 and 4 into this post, and then, yep, thank you, pig. Then we're going to set something up here. Just like this. 3. Then we're going to go like this at the end here. And that. We'll get some stairs down. Now we're starting to see the shape of the bridge form. One thing that can really help that I haven't been able to do here, as much as I would have liked, is if you can add lots of stairs and slabs and things like that into your build, make like little mini arches and things, it can really add all the detail. I wish I could show you that here, but I really can't. Unfortunately, I do not have the resources at my disposal in order to do that. So we're going to add some something of a walkway in here now. So we're going to go in 3. We're going to fill that in. We're going to go 4. And then we're going to wrap around there and go 5 like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down half a block. Over to this point here. And then I'm going to go down half a block again. Just like that. Now we're back to where another pillar is. So we can do something a little bit like that. I want that stair to face that way, so we're going to update the stair using that trick. So now we've gotten down to this point. I think I'm actually going to change this for that. Can't really do it on that one because the stair there. But yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Now I need more of these, just 4 this time. And then we're going to open up to 5 this way. Whoops. Just like that. Now we're going to continue this direction. So we continue to go over to the right here on this bridge because we're building obviously that diagonal look. Nice and wide here, so a horse and cart could pass over, or a person walking. Got some lovely views eventually of a nice river down there, and we'll have some views that way too. So I'm going to keep working on this, and we'll probably see the finished product next, okay? And for right now, there we have it. Look at this nice little bridge here. So this is that's kind of the look. We've got enough space underneath that we could sail a boat under here. This will actually be dug out even deeper eventually. So we'll be able to ride a boat through here. We've got some interesting design to it. I kind of went with that diagonal look. Just keep staggering one block further to the right each time. Got a nice walkway complete with slabs in the middle. And if I was to provide some top tips for building a bridge and building a bridge like this, firstly, if you're building a custom river like I am, I think it's important to actually have the river built first, or at least some idea of how big of a gap it is you're going to be crossing. If you have a pre-built Minecraft river that's part of the generated terrain, that part is done for you, but it's a really good idea just to get a feel for what it is you're going to be doing before you actually start, rather than just trying to wing it. I especially think that's important with bridges. It's much more difficult to plan something out without the natural terrain around it. Doing things like this, for example, you could definitely do creative, but something like this is a little bit more tricky. You could experiment with bridge designs in a flat world, but you might find it more difficult to create a bridge to your specific needs. For example, you know, if your river's slightly wider, the number of posts you might need might be slightly different. But you could actually work out some patterns and use that as a template to build off of. Something else that kind of ties into that idea, I would advise, if you can, even if it's just laying out some dirt or some stone or something, just marking out a start point and marking out an end point and basically drawing a line between the two of them. That way you know roughly what you're trying to do, and that will ensure that you stay on task, and you'll make sure that you get to where you want to get to on the other side of the bridge, and it'll make connecting paths easier. For example, if I decided to do a diagonal bridge but I went the other way, I'm going to end up going into that hill there. So that's just another little tip I can provide. I would start working from the posts up. Get an idea of how many posts you want. Is it 1? Is it 2? Do you have a wide river like I do? So is it 3 or 4? Then kind of work out a design and just try and do one half of the bridge to start with. Do like one face of it, which is what I did with this, was one face. Then you've just got to copy it on the other side. Just flip it around, and then you can put the slabs or whatever material you want to go with in the middle. I'm very, very happy with how this looks, and hopefully it will continue to serve me well. What I want to take a few moments of your time to talk about now is a little bit more into how I've actually designed this river here, and how I'm about to design another river, which I'm going to build over there, which is going to connect from the cave entrance through to our big lake here. I have been using a new tool available that you can download yourself and connect up to your Minecraft called AXIOM. AXIOM is like a world editor that is built directly into the game. Very easy to access. It's one of those that it's easy to pick up, I think, but it's very hard to master. And I've been designing custom rivers using that AXIOM tool. And we're not going to do a step-by-step of how to do that today, but I did just want to give you a look at AXIOM so you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like, and a little bit about how I have been designing these rivers here. And then we're going to build this one over here and connect up from the cave entrance to the lake. So, like I said a moment ago, I just wanted to give you a little look into the AXIOM tool that I mentioned and how it works a little bit. So AXIOM is a Minecraft mod available for fabric-based installations, and it enables a lot of building tools that I can then use to create things that I can add into the world. And I'll just give you a very basic overview. This is not going to be any kind of tutorial here.
Firstly, you will see we have our hotbar here. I'm in creative mode and commands are enabled. You must have commands enabled and be in creative mode in order to access this mod. You can press the left Alt key on your keyboard, and that brings up a window here with many, many new options. We've got lots of extra hotbars here for extra blocks. You can change your game mode. You could create labels with things. You can edit attributes about specific blocks. You could change your flight speed. And there are various tools here you could look through that change many, many things in-game while you're building, which is very cool. I use these tools sometimes to create things a little bit quicker. But the main big part of this mod consists of, firstly, these features. Again, if you scroll or you press the 0 key on your keyboard, I believe it's 0, you get access to this little move tool. You can then press left Alt and you can scroll up or scroll down. And these tools can be used to move structures. You can set a point A and a point B, select a structure, you can move it, clone it, stack it, smear it, extrude it, erase it, which is basically a delete function, and set up symmetry with it. There are also some extra tools available now. I'm running on a slightly older version of Axiom. But the real big tool is if you press the right Shift key on your keyboard, you get this menu. We are still in game. As you can see, I can still move around. Things are still taking place. Game updates are still happening. Sheep are moving and so on. And this is your ultimate playground for building here. We have various different tools that do many, many different things. I could spend an entire series of videos talking about all of these different tools. There are some great tutorials out there already. I might make some of my own, I'm not sure yet. But predominantly, I have been using this mode for making the rivers. And it's been a combination of this melt tool, which, as you can see, if I select it, it's a little brush, and then if I right-click, it will actually melt out parts of the terrain. Now, this is a super flat world, so it goes through to the void. There is also a standard tool, something like freehand draw, and if you change this to air, you could also get a really similar effect here. Now, generally, if you are using another block, you can actually see what it is you're working on. With air, unfortunately, you cannot see blocks being erased. But I usually use a combination of freehand draw and melt to create rivers in my world. And then I replicate them in survival mode so that we have them. So I have a copy where I can design the rivers and then I build them by hand in the world. I do not use this tool in my actual survival world. Unfortunately, this tool only supports the most recent editions of Minecraft, so if you're looking to use this tool like I am with a really old version of Minecraft, you're going to have to do something like that, where you design in creative mode and then you copy it over into your world. Now, if you are using a more modern version of Minecraft, what you are able to do is you're able to save schematics by selecting things here, and you can then copy it to a clipboard, and then you could export it as a schematic, and then you could import the schematic into your world if you want to. You could also set this up with a mod like Lightmatica, where you can then import a view of your build into your survival world, and then you just have to right-click with whichever block it is to build the structure, if that's what you want to do. Again, I didn't want to spend too long on this. I just wanted to show you a little bit of this tool. It is very cool. Look it up. I will leave some links in the description for you to access the Axiom tool yourself and have a play around, see what you could do. There's some great tutorials out there on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff that people have done which will give you a clearer idea. I just wanted to kind of give you a very small little sneak peek about how I do some of what I do. Now what we're going to do is I have a short update for you regarding my diamond sword, and then we're going to get on with building that next river I talked about. So, let's get to it. I think it's finally time
to retire my very first diamond sword. It's been with me pretty much since the beginning of my playthrough here, but I have finally exhausted the durability on it. You probably saw in previous clips there I've been using a stone sword. I'm going to go ahead and make a new diamond one now. But that one can rest in the box now for eternity. It served me well, but it's time to rest. I didn't want to let it break, so there it is. My axe is still over in the mining settlement, and I have not made a diamond hoe yet. So there it is. Just wanted to share that with you. And there we have it. We've got our river over here built, and we can take a test drive here. We can go down. We have to mind out for rogue animals. We can come around here. Try not to crash. It's quite narrow there. So, yeah, you can get caught on the edges here. I might have to get rid of that block of gravel to make it wide enough. And down. And of course this takes us all the way out into the lake there. And then as for going back up, you can do it, but it is pretty tricky. Again, I'm on that block of gravel there, and it's going to attempt to push me down. But I can just make it. And then this one, I can fight the current. And I can get through. There we go. It's a little bit rougher than I was hoping, but it's still a lot of fun. And then we can just go in here straight up, and we're back into our cave here. Okay, so with the river here now built, I think it's time that we add a nice little bridge to this area. And what I decided to do this time is build a wooden bridge. We've not really done one of those in a bit, so I'm going to do a nice design for that, which is a little bit different to the other bridges I've done so far. So what we're going to do here is it is going to be 3 wide to walk across, giving us a 5 wide bridge total. We're going to have that run up there, just like that. We'll put that down. So this is kind of where we're going to go. We'll open this up just a little bit. And then for the frame of this bridge, we're going to do something a little bit different that we didn't do before, which was to do an arched up bridge. All the other bridges we've done have either been flat or they've curved down. This one curves up, so it's a little bit more interesting that way. And I think that will be different. Want to add some variety to the bridges. If you're going to be building a bridge that curves upwards, the key to it is to make the incline gradual. If you do too much too quickly, it doesn't end up looking good at all. So that's just something to keep in mind when working on something like this. I'm going to add a stair there, because I think that will suit that very well. And then we need to go out, whoops, one more. To here. And then that may complicate things a little bit. I wanted to do something like this. I don't know if the stairs are going to let me do what I want to do though, so and then we'll go down one and across. We're kind of getting towards the other side now, so we'll bring that post in there. And we're going to go down here. Add this. Just like that. This one is going to be a stair. Okay, so yeah, we're kind of getting that shape that I was aiming for. What we could do now is we can put in the path here of what I want for the bridge. And the way that this is going to work is we're going to do something like this. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Well, that's why you never dig straight down. We are lucky I lived that. Oh my goodness. What a hole to fall down into. And then, yeah, we're going to move our way up here now, half a block. And then we're going to go across here. Then we're going to add that there. We go out two more. And there we go. We're going to add slabs on top of these. We can build our other post up now. To there. I'm going to make 4 buttons. Buttons can be a very nice little piece of detail. But just, again, help break up the texture a little bit. Now all we've got to do is build the back face here. So if I want these stairs to go the way I want them to, this might do some of it. Well, it fixed those two. I'm not sure if I can fix the one in the middle right now. Doesn't look like it. Unfortunately, I wanted that to face in as well, but I don't think I can. And great. So yeah, the stairs at the moment are not the best to build with. We're just gonna have to live with it, I guess, for now. Which is fine, I suppose, but I would have preferred if they did actually play nice. So, we'll go across here. Stair in the middle. Form block. See, that one does what I want it to do. I guess it does right now, though. I wonder if I went like this. No, it won't. Then we can build that. And then this. And we can work our way down on this side now as well. And then there we go. We've got a nice little bridge now. We can add some torches to it to keep it nice and bright. I'll need to work on the path a little now, just to kind of get it lined up better. Oh, one small detail I'm going to add. This will make more sense if I clear these out. We're going to add those on either end here. Just to add another little piece of detail. We'll open this up a little bit as well. I would say we're looking good, other than the stairs not placing the way I want to. We are looking good. Okay, so I've been working on building some paths here, and one of the things I wanted to do now was actually connect a path to my cave entrance here, rather than go around through the river if I want to walk in and out. I've dug this little 2x1 here, which comes out right here. I'm going to have to do a little bit of terraforming work and bring this down, but we're going to connect to the path over there. But I do want to make it a little bit more than just a tiny little tunnel. So I was thinking we could do some TNT related fun here. I wanted to kind of share that with you. We're not going to go crazy with the TNT here, because I do not need a lot to get the effect I think I'm looking for. So I just thought maybe even... That's probably enough right there. Just 4 pieces. And I will... I'll set this off, and I'll fill that, and we'll back away. See what that did. Okay, it went down further than I thought, but otherwise it's okay. That's kind of interesting. I think we can make this work. If I open this up a little bit, we've got kind of like a natural pathway down. And we're pretty close to where I want to get to. Let's just open this up a little bit. If you're wondering what this is where I got my very, very first stone in the world. So I kind of want to leave that alone. We'll be able to put in a stone block there. And that will be untouched. But yeah, cool. We've got a nice little cave here now that I can open up just a little bit more, I think. And I'm going to shape this. It's just like a perfect little doorway right now. I don't totally care for that. I want it to be a bit rougher. But yeah, this should be perfect for going through and walking. So I'm going to work on this and we'll see what we get. So, I have been working on the entrance here for a little bit now, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I made a brand new path that leads up to my walk-in entrance now. Had to do a little bit of terraforming work around here, so the grass is still growing a little bit. And then we've got a nice walkway through here, just like this. It's got a nice little arch to it, some supports, and a little cave that we carved out. I decided to run the wood all the way to the edge here of the walkway to outside, and then obviously this connects through to here. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. We've got a very nice walkable entrance now. So we don't have to kind of climb around the cliffs there. And we have the option of both boat and walking normally. So, yeah, that kind of finishes that for now. What I'd like to work on next is actually kind of continuing that bridge theme that we've been focusing on in this episode. I would like to add some supports to the bridges that are in here in the base. Because as it stands right now, these are pretty much freestanding other than connecting to the walls here and there. So having some support pillars in here is something I think will add a lot and make it look much nicer. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to get myself a bunch of smooth stone slabs, and I'm going to do a design that I have come up with. And I also want to add some color into the cave here a little bit, because outside of the Patch Museum, the tree farm, and wherever there is something interesting, like the hourglass or the cave entrance, it's pretty gray. There's just stone here, and cobblestone and slabs. So I'm going to use water and lava in the pillar design I have in mind to bring some color and some lighting to these bridges. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean. And so here is the first part of the design that I'm going with for supporting these bridges. The first thing I did was I slightly adjusted this corridor, which is my water ladder down into the storage room, so that it matched this staircase here, which I have also moved forward one block so that I could get this like plus shape in the middle here for designing this particular support. I wanted to go with an arch theme again because I like building those arches, and we've got a little arch here, 3 blocks tall, and then it just kind of works its way up to a peak. I also really wanted to build something out of stone slabs. I just wanted to use all stone slabs and then kind of add around that, and that's what I went with here. Connected into the stone up there. And then I've used water and lava to add a little bit of color. And I've hidden a little bit of lighting up in the middle there above the water, so we get that kind of nice blue color. And then we get the red that contrasts with that of the lava. And that also provides some free lighting, even though everything's more or less slabbed anyway. I really like that you get some lighting from this. You know, it kind of shines out, makes it nice and bright. There is also lava underneath, but unfortunately, if I take this torch out, you can see it doesn't actually brighten anything at the moment. There's light blocked from the slabs there. But it's still pretty cool. I suppose I could change these out if I wanted to, maybe for glass, and then I could have light come down that way if I really want it. But I might end up putting something in the floor for lighting in the long term anyway, so I may just leave it alone. I think that's kind of a cool effect, what's already there. But this isn't it. This is just the first part of the design. Obviously now what I'm going to need to do is add to the pillar on the lower level there and connect it together. And it'll form almost like a giant chain made of these slabs. Even though it'll be more, more stone-based and arch-based, it'll probably look a little bit like a giant chain. And we can use lava again for lighting, and the water brings a little bit of that nice blue color. And it adds something different to the cave. It adds a different color that's not just that plain gray look that the bridges themselves have. You know, we've got the nice grass there and the green colors of the Patch Museum. And now we've got some blue and a little bit of red as well. And we've obviously got the kind of browny yellow of the hourglass here. I like that. I do like that. Here's a few different angles. I also adjusted this so that it just flowed a little bit more naturally, now that we have this here as well. I like that it's kind of half built into the stone too. I think that makes it look a little bit more supported. So I'm going to go ahead and work on down below and possibly add a few more of these. And then we'll see how the cave's looking, okay? Alrighty, so I've been working on these pillars for a little bit now, and I've got some designs in place here. They are not finished. I just wanted to get a feel for it today. We've got more paths and things to add yet. But here we go. We got this one done all the way up to the ceiling there. Down to this point. And we got that one done over there as well. I also added a small one up here, ready for its inclusion in this part of the pathway. I added this little area too. We're eventually going to expand and build over here. And I really like this. It brings some new colors with the lava and the water into our cave here. We've got that nice blue, and we've got the red and yellow-ish of the lava there, which I really like. I think it's got a nice pattern to it. I didn't use a reference or anything. I pretty much just designed and built. I knew that I wanted to build something out of just slabs, and I tried to come up with an interesting pattern that would let me reveal some colors behind. And that's pretty much what I did, is just try and design it. I would say if there's one thing as I was designing it that it reminded me of a little bit, I definitely had like this idea of almost like a chain a little bit in terms of, one in the middle, then some out and things like that. There was definitely an element of that, but it wasn't a strong influence on the design, really. I just wanted something I thought would look cool, and this definitely does that. And I definitely think it looks a lot better with supports. Now, the paths make more sense. There is still more I would like to do, I think, as we continue to build and add more. One thing I'm looking at maybe doing is adding some supports off of this that connect to the bridge, like a little arch, and then into the staircase as well. I think that could look nice, but that'll be something to do, I think, in the future. I still want to add... Oh, hello. I still want to add something to the back of this furnace room as well, just to kind of break up all the stone there. That'll be a future project. But I think that is going to do it for today. We've made some good progress in and around the world. We've added some new paths. We've added 2 new bridges. And we've added some supports to some existing bridges. Very bridge-themed today. And we'll see what we get up to in the next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the bridge designs and these supports. I'd love to hear your feedback. And I will catch you again in the next episode. Take care. Bye now.